Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be talking about American Airlines stock. Now over the last few weeks, this stock has done amazing for us and even moved out of a wedge pattern, which we did identify on the channel. Now I know a lot of you guys were able to take advantage of this with the free Discord link down in the description below, but right now American Airlines has been getting hit with some massively bad news, and not only that, the worst part of it all is that American Airlines is getting clumped into the same headlines along with Spirit Airlines, and as such a lot of the situations that have been happening over the last few days have seen worse than they really were. As a result, the last few weeks have been extremely tough for the stock, and AAL investors, American Airline investors, are really wondering right now what they should do, if they should hold, if they should sell. So ultimately I want to talk today about what I'm seeing as far as technical analysis and as far as what I think will be happening with the situation of these canceled flights and what I really think is going to be happening with the stock over the next coming weeks. Alright guys, so to begin here, I want to take a look at this article from the New York Times talking about the situation, and one of the things you have to know about these type of situations is that they are getting national attention. So we're not just talking about stock market events and what's happening, small events with this company. We're talking about something that has affected already hundreds of people. So again, this is something at a national level, international level, and that's why there's so much pressure on American Airlines and Spirit to not only fix this problem, but also to fix their reputation after this situation. So really that's part of why the stock is going down, and part of what you need to know as an investor. When things hit the mainstream like this, it is never good for a business to be in a negative light. Now the second part, and what I was trying to tell you guys earlier in the video, is that both Spirit and American Airlines are getting put into the same headlines, and this is causing it to seem a lot worse than it is for American. Now as you guys may know, I've recommended both these companies in the past, and I've even made a comparison video, but in that video I explained that I am American Airlines all the way, and that is ultimately one of my favorite brands, not only to fly with but also to trade on the stock market. So again guys, I stand by my stock pick, and I think that there is a lot more to see than just the headlines here that we've been getting told over the last few days. So as you can see from this article, one of the main things that they highlight is that Spirit Airlines had to cancel more than 40% of its flights on Monday, and that might be the headline that you have heard most publicized over the last few days. 40% of flights canceled, but as you can see, that is not the same story for American Airlines. As of Tuesday, they only canceled 18% of their flights, and on Monday 9%. So again guys, as you can see, that is not the same amount as 40%, and really this has not hit American as hard as it's been hitting another brand like Spirit. So even though both brands are getting put in the same boat, I really don't think that this is going to be affecting American as long or as drastically as it will be for Spirit Airlines. If you think about it, American not only has more planes in service, they also have more hubs, more money, etc. to help them get out of this crisis. So again, that's something that they're going to be able to take advantage of, while Spirit, a cheap carrier that doesn't really have a lot of money in the bank, is not going to be able to get around this problem as easily, and that's why they have a lot more frustrated customers at the airport than maybe some other major brands that you might have heard of, like American, like Delta, etc., who've also had to cancel flights over the last few days. Now moving on to a short technical analysis of American Airlines stock, I want to show you guys exactly what I think will be happening over the last few days, and essentially what happened the last time on our last American Airlines video, and why we didn't head all the way up to $30 a share after that first push out of the wedge. Now as you may know, over the last few days, American Airlines also had an earnings report, and that's part of the reason why we didn't head up to $30 a share. You can see that it seems like we hit an invisible wall at this price, and essentially we did hit an invisible wall. This is what you call a resistance point, and as you can see, it has also acted in the past when we were in the wedge, and it did keep us from going above that $26 a share range. So essentially what happened was we got rejected at that level again, and coming into the earnings, it was a very critical time. You can see down here the E on the chart to know whether American Airlines was either going to break down below our ultimate support price and come down maybe back to $15 a share, where we have a long-standing support price, or if potentially we were going to be able to rocket back up to that 25. And as you can see, we have gotten absolutely neither over the last few days. There has been just a little bit of melting to the side with American Airlines, and even though we tried to push up, we have failed. Even though we tried to push down, we have failed. And really right now we need to see exactly what's going to be happening over the next few days, because it could be absolutely critical to the long-term future of American Airlines. And that's why I really think that it is no coincidence that this crisis is happening right now. It is a very critical time for these stocks, these quote-unquote growth companies, to continue moving to the upside if they want to show investors that they're still worth it at a time when volume is dropping off on these companies. So again, if American Airlines is not able to fix the situation, it's going to be very, very hard to continue convincing banks and other institutions to go in on a stock name like this. So I think that again, guys, this is a very critical point for us to be holding up above this $20 a share. And that's why I want to bring you guys this video. If American Airlines breaks below this price, I will be entering puts again on the free Discord. That's where I put all my plays and signals. So if you want to know exactly about that, make sure you check that out. But if we do stay above $21 a share, then I will ultimately be looking for 25 as our next target or next resistance point. Again, that's where we got stopped last time, and ultimately where I'm looking for a massive breakout to the upside. So don't be shy to add at this $20 a share range. Wait and see what's going to happen, but at the very least pick up a few shares at this price if you are a long-term investor on American Airlines. And that's exactly what I'm personally going to be doing, reloading a little bit if the price does come down just a tad more, and ultimately waiting to see whether I should buy those puts to cover my position, my long-term position on American Airlines, or if we will be able to get some great returns over the next few days as this stock and company does try to get out of this massive problem with these flight cancellations.